In this video, we will practice writing the equation of a line given various types of information. So here comes problem number 1, part 1. Find the equation of a line that has this slope and goes through this point. So for almost all of these problems, I'm going to make the following chart. I'm going to write slope m. All right, that'll be the first column. Y-intercept b. That'll be the second column. And then in the third column, I write the equation. Now, for the equation, it always goes y is equal to something x plus something. All right, this is called slope-intercept form because the first box will have the slope and the second box will have the y-intercept, which is what we're going to find in the first two columns. Now, for this problem, we're given the slope right away. So we're given that the slope is 3 over 2, which means I can really go ahead and fill in that 3 over 2 right now. So all I have to do is find the y-intercept, which is the b value. So I'm talking about this model that goes y equals mx plus b. All right, when I say m and b, I'm talking about the number that goes here and here. So right now I'm trying to find the b. That means we need to already have y, m, and x. Well, I have m. What about x and y? That's what the point is for. So this is x and this is y. That's why I'm going to put -3 equals, right? Because that's the y. And then here comes the slope, 3 over 2. Now here comes the x, which is 8, plus b. So I'm going to use this to find b. Now this is like 8 over 1. So I have -3 is equal to 24 over 2 plus b. So that means -3 is equal to 12 plus b. Subtracting 12 from both sides, I find that b is equal to -15. Okay, so now I have the slope and I have the y-intercept. So the -15 goes right here. So now I'm going to write this a little more smoothly without the boxes and without the plus negative. All right, plus negative is just minus. So the final answer will be y is equal to 3 over 2x minus 15. Okay, so that was problem number 1, part 1. Now here's problem number 1, part 2. Find the equation of a line that has this slope and goes through this point. All right, so this is the same exact thing. So once again, I'm going to say slope m, y-intercept b, equation. All right, and the equation again goes y is equal to something x plus something. All right, I just need the slope and the y-intercept. Well, they gave me the slope, like I said, so the slope is equal to -5 over 4. Boom! Given. So I can go ahead and fill that in right now, -5 over 4. So all I really need is the b value, which is what the middle column is for. So I go, look, y equals mx plus b, and I'm looking for the b. Again, the point gives us the x and the y, so that's why I will have 1 is equal to -5 over 4. Okay, and now the x is 6 plus b. All right, so this one's going to have fractions in it, but that's okay. So remember, this is like 6 over 1. So that will give me -30 over 4 plus b. So to get b by itself, I need to add 30 over 4 to both sides. So plus 30 over 4. Okay, so if I add this together, I'm going to get 1 plus 30 over 4. So that's 17 over 2. So I've got 17 halves is equal to b. All right, so 17 halves. So the final answer is y equals -5 over 4x plus 17 halves. Okay, so that was problem number 1, part B. All right, now let's do problem number 2. All right, so let me change colors. So maybe I will call this, I'll put a little 2A right here. Okay, so this is going to be slightly different. But I'm still finding the equation of a line, so I'm still going to use my main strategy, which is to create this chart. So I'm going to find the slope, m, and then I will find the y-intercept, b. And then I can write the equation. And the equation works like this. Y is equal to something x plus something, where the first box is the slope and the second box is the y-intercept. This time they did not just give me the slope to begin with. So I'm going to have to actually calculate the slope myself. So understand that the slope, if you're given 2 points, you can find it by doing y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So that's what I'm going to do. So the slope is going to be, okay, so 11 minus 8, so that's y minus y. Okay, and then now x minus x, so it's got to be -2. Now be careful. The second number is negative, so I'm going to have a double negative because I have to do minus whatever the next number is, and the next number is a -4, so I have minus -4. So you need to know what to do with that. When you see a minus and negative, you need to understand that this is really addition. Minus and negative is addition, so I'm going to put a big old plus sign now. Okay, so that's what I have. So now I'm going to have the slope is equal to 11 minus 8 is 3, and -2 plus 4 is 2. So there's my slope, 3 over 2. So I can go ahead and fill that in, 3 over 2. So now all I need to do is find the y-intercept. Well, we will use the model y equals mx plus b, and understand that we're looking for b. So I'm going to need an x and a y. We already have m. So you can pick either one of these points, and I'm just going to go ahead and pick this one. So this will be my x, and this will be my y. All right, you get the same answer if you picked the other point. So the y is going to be 8. So I have 8 is equal to, and then m is 3 over 2. Okay, and then x is -4. So that's everything except for b. So this is like -4 over 1. So I have 8 is equal to -12 over 2 plus b. That means 8 is equal to -6 plus b. So I need to add 6 to both sides. So that's going to be 14. So b is 14. So that's why the answer is just this without the boxes. So y is equal to 3 over 2x plus 14. All right, so that was 2a. All right, so here comes 2b. All right, so I'm going to find the equation of the line that goes through 6, 3, and it says and 9, 1. All right, so great, 6, 3 and 9, 1. So it's the same thing again. So once again, I'm going to follow the chart. I need to find slope m, y-intercept b. And then I can write the equation. Okay, the equation will go y equals something x plus something. All right, so first I need to find the slope. So the slope, remember the slope is going to be y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Okay, so that's going to be 1 minus 3, right? That's y2 minus y1. So I've got 1 minus 3 over 9 minus 6. Okay, so y minus y over x minus x. So that's going to give me a slope of negative 2 over 3. And that's it. So that's the slope, which I can go ahead and fill in right now. Negative 2 over 3. That's my slope. So all I need is the y-intercept. So remember that the y-intercept, maybe I'll put this above as well. So we have y is equal to mx plus b. This is what I'm going to use to find the y-intercept. Okay, so if I'm looking for b, then I need to have y, m, and x. I already have m, so I just need x and y. So again, I think I will go ahead and pick this point, the first point. Okay, so I'll use this for my x and y. I could have used the other point. It doesn't matter which point you pick. You'll get the same answer. So I need y equals. So I'm going to start with 3 equals. So 3 equals. Next I have m. So that's negative 2 over 3. And then comes x, which is 6, plus b, which is what I'm looking for. Now 6 is like 6 over 1. So this is going to give me 3 is equal to negative 12 over 3 plus b. So that's 3 is equal to negative 4 plus b. And then if I add 4 to both sides, that gives me 7. So b is 7. So that goes right here. So this is really the answer. I'll just recopy it without the boxes. Y is equal to negative 2 over 3x plus 7. All right, so that's the answer for number 2, part B. Okay, so let's switch to problem number 3. All right, for this problem, we're going to be dealing with parallel and perpendicular lines. Okay, I might have to make this a little bit smaller. All right, the good news is I'm still going to use the same procedure. All right, I'm still going to draw my chart. So I'm going to use, I'm going to find slope m. And then I'm going to find the y-intercept, b. And then once I've found that, then I can write the equation. Now, as always, the equation is going to be y equals something x plus something. All right, the slope and the y-intercept. So I'm supposed to find the equation of a line that's parallel to this line. Now, parallel lines all have the same slope. Okay, so the slope that I need should be the same as the slope of this parallel line. So just for the sake of notes, I'm going to say same as parallel line. Okay, so the parallel line has slope 5. Okay, so you know what? Maybe I'll do it this way. All right, the parallel line has slope 5. So then the slope I'm actually going to use is going to be 5, all right, because parallel lines have the same slope. All right, so I have the slope. By the way, the y-intercept of the parallel line doesn't give me anything. So please don't try to use that. Don't put that in for b or anything like that. That would be wrong. But they have the same slope, so I get to use the 5. So the rest of the problem is the same as what we've been doing. Okay, maybe I'll just put above this y equals mx plus b. Okay, and of course this is going to be my x and my y right here. So I'm going to have 3 is equal to, now the m, that's 5. The x is 20 plus b. So that means 3 is equal to 100. All right, 5 times 20 is 100 plus b. Subtract 100 from both sides, and you're going to get negative 97. So b is negative 97. So that goes right here. So rewriting the answer without the boxes and without the plus negative, instead I'll just put minus. I'll have y is equal to 5x minus 97. Okay, so that's 3a. All right, let's move on to 3b. Okay, this time we're dealing with perpendicular instead of parallel, so just be careful. So here comes 3b. Okay, we're going to start off the problem the same way. All right, always with the chart. So first we need to determine the slope, m, and then we will find the y-intercept, b, and then we will write the equation. And the equation goes y equals something x plus something. All right, we just need to find the slope and the y-intercept, m and b. So when it comes to perpendicular lines do not have the same slope. Okay, so write down these notes. Perpendicular slope is number 1, opposite, all right, meaning opposite sign, and number 2, reciprocal. Opposite and reciprocal. Reciprocal means if I have 2/3, then the reciprocal would be 3/2. Opposite means if I have 5, then the opposite would be -5. So I've got opposite and reciprocal. Okay, so that means, okay, the slope of the perpendicular line is 5. So that will give us the slope that we're actually going to use. It's got to be reciprocal. So the reciprocal of 5 is 1/5. Okay, that's the reciprocal part. But it also has to be opposite, so I need to change the sign. So it should be -1/5. So this is the slope that I'm going to use. So I'm going to put -1/5 here for my slope. All right, now finding the y-intercept is like we always do. We have y equals mx plus b, and we're looking for b. Again, this is going to be my x and my y. So since y is 3, I'm going to lead with that. 3 is equal to, and the slope is -1/5, and x is 20 plus b. I'm looking for b. This is like having 20 over 1. So I have 3 is equal to negative 20 over 5. All right, just multiplying straight across, plus b. So that's 3 is equal to negative 4 plus b. Negative 20 divided by 5 is negative 4. Then I would add 4 to both sides, and I get 7. So b is 7. So I can just go ahead and put 7 here. So my answer, without the boxes, is y is equal to negative 1/5 x plus 7. Okay, so that's number 3, part B. All right, number 4 will be the last problem on this video. And for problem number 4, we will be talking about horizontal and vertical lines. Okay, write the equation of a horizontal line that goes through the point 12, comma, negative 3. Now, a horizontal line will always have the equation y equals something. Okay, it's going to be y equals some number. So, for example, it could be y equals 3. That would be a horizontal line. Or y equals negative 1/2. All right, these would be the equations of horizontal lines. But I always know it's going to be y equals a number. So just go ahead and memorize that fact. So with that in mind, look at the only 2 values that we have. So if I had to use these and pick a number for y to be equal to, which one of these do you think I'm going to use, the 12 or the negative 3? Well, the 12 is an x value. The negative 3 is a y value. So y equals negative 3. Boom! That's the equation of a horizontal line through that point. All right, it's just that easy. Similarly, when they say the equation of a line that has an undefined slope, that's another way of saying vertical line. Okay, because a vertical line has undefined slope. All right, these two sort of go together. Okay, now, a vertical line always has the equation x equals some number. All right, like x equals 5 or x equals negative 3, something like that. So if I know it's going to be x equals something, again, x equals, which one of these numbers do you think I'm going to use? All right, well look, this is the x value, this is the y value. So obviously I'm going to use the number 1, x equals 1. Boom, that's it. All right, this is the equation of a vertical line, a line that has an undefined slope. Okay, so that was problem number 4A. I forgot to put that at the beginning. But that was number 4A. So last question is problem number 4B. Okay? Now, I'm going to go through this problem, but let me give you a little bit of background information. Horizontal line. All right, this is like notes. All right, horizontal line compared with vertical line. All right, first of all, a horizontal line is like this. All right, just have that in your brain. A vertical line is like this. For a horizontal line, the slope is 0. All right, m is 0. For a vertical line, the slope is undefined. All right, and as we have already discussed, a horizontal line has the equation like y equals a number, and a vertical line has the equation x equals some number. All right, everything on the screen you need to know. All right, horizontal line looks like this. It's y equals a number and the slope is 0. Vertical line looks like this. The slope is undefined and the equation is x equals some number. Okay? All of that needs to be in your head at all times. Now, if you were just going on, well, you know what? More background information. I have to say one more thing. Say if I'm calculating the slope, and somewhere along the way I get 0 over 7. Okay? Or say if I'm calculating the slope and I get the slope is 7 over 0. What do I do with this? Well, 0 divided by anything is just 0. So this would be the slope is 0. So what kind of a line is this? Well, if the slope is 0, as we just discussed, that makes this horizontal. Okay, like this. This is the kind of line that has a slope of 0. That means it's going to be y equals some number. Okay, now what if I get this? If I get this, 7 divided by 0, this is undefined. All right, you can't divide by 0. This is undefined. That means that this is a vertical line. All right, that means its x is equal to some number. So watch out for that. All right, if the 0 is in the numerator, it's just 0. That means a horizontal line. If the 0 is in the denominator, that's undefined. All right, that's your vertical line. So obviously I'm mentioning that because one of those two things is about to happen right now. So if I didn't notice that these x values were the same, then what I would do is I would do what I normally do, and which is I would set up my chart and I would say, okay, I need to find the slope m, right? And then I want to find my y-intercept b, and then I'll write the equation. All right, just at a glance, I see 2 points, I'm writing the equation. This is what I do. And I say y is equal to something, x plus something. All right, this is what I would normally do. But when I go to calculate the slope, look what happens. I know that for my slope, I'm supposed to do y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. That's the slope formula. Okay, so that means 1 minus 8 over 4 minus 4. Interesting. 4 minus 4. So that's going to give me negative 7 over 0. So what does that tell you? When the 0 is in the bottom, you can't divide by 0. All right, this is undefined. Okay, that tells me, and I'm not going to end up using the rest of this, okay, because I'll just use the space for more notes. This is undefined. That tells me I'm dealing with a vertical line. Okay, and I know that when I have a vertical line, it's always going to be x equals some number. All right, so I can forget about all of this as well. It's just going to be x equals some number. So if it's going to be x equals a number, what's that number going to be? Well, you can look at either one of these points. Okay, I have x and y, and I have x and y. Either one you look at, guess what x is? All right, I know it had to be x equals something. Guess what? X equals 4. All right, so that is the answer. All right, guys, that's going to do it for this video. Go ahead and click here in the red apple to watch the next video. Click in the green apple to subscribe, or click the yellow apple for the full playlist.